Welcome everyone. My name is Ashton Jones from TAL Australia. I'm absolutely delighted to be here today to unpack the retirement income covenant with Andrew Boll from Deloitte. Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Andrew, there's a lot of focus right now in the industry on the retirement income covenant. I don't think I've ever seen more conference discussions around it and more partner dialogue around it. But I'm really interested in your view as to how did we get here? The covenant itself is a new thing, but the focus on improving retirement outcomes isn't.
Well, finally we are here, which is a good thing. I think going back a few years ago, the Retirement Income Review was a major piece of work that contributed to where we are now. And one of the findings of the review was that people were underspending in retirement. Now, obviously, some people with lower account balances don't have much choice, but for people who had reasonable account balances, they were typically drawing down at the minimum rate according to the regulations, and so therefore underspending, particularly in the early part of retirement. And so what we're trying to do now is to give people the confidence to spend more in the first decade of retirement, with the confidence that they won't run out of money if they happen to be one of the segments of society that lives right through into their 90s. And so it is about giving people the confidence to spend and making sure they enjoy a better retirement.
And the covenant itself, obviously, it talks about a few different things. It talks about maximising income. It talks about ensuring the sustainability of income and managing the risk to that income. Where does longevity products fit in that equation? Do you have a view as to what their role is in a retirement income strategy?
Well, certainly one of the major risks that's least understood in the community is longevity risk. And so really that's the risk of living beyond life expectancy for the average person, and half of the people will live beyond that life expectancy, and so we don't know which half. And so that's one of the risks that really is hardest to manage. And so a longevity solution really does come into play to make sure that people have enough income in retirement for that latter part of their life. Once that's been secured, they then have the confidence to spend the remainder of their savings in the early part of retirement, and that's the main thing we're trying to achieve.
And is it fair to say that that confidence to spend equation, it should be helped by having some form of income that's going to last for the rest of a member's life?
Absolutely. For some people, low account balance members, the age pension provides that guarantee, and that might be enough for that cohort. But for people with between, say, $250,000 and up to $1 million, at partway through retirement, they're going to become eligible for the age pension, and they'll be eligible for a part age pension, and they'll be drawing down some of their savings. This gets really complicated. And in order to maximise the amount of income they're having across their whole of their retirement, they need to get the right balance of products, and making sure that a longevity solution that's more than just the age pension. I don't think somebody who's got $500,000 of savings will be satisfied when they're 75 living off just the age pension. So it's providing a top up to that to make sure that they've got a good amount of income for the whole of their retirement period.
So confidence to spend in the early years, and then having that confidence in the later years that they're not going to have to rely on the age pension ultimately.
Yeah, age pension alone.
Age pension alone. And the regulator came out recently with some pretty pointed feedback, I thought, about their expectations for trustees to move the dial on the retirement income covenant and improve retirement outcomes. Could you just touch on that at a very high level, what your read of that was?
Well, the three parts really were around data, making sure that members, because the funds have enough data about their members to understand their spending needs in retirement. But I think the key one was the fit for purpose guidance, to make sure that if we're going to introduce complex retirement products and solutions for members, that they have enough information and education about those products to understand what it means for them in retirement. And the final piece was to measure success. So what are the metrics that are going to say to the trustees, we've really improved the outcomes for our members and we've done our job?
Well, we look forward, I think, Andrew, to going into a bit more detail in the next part of the conversation around that regulator feedback, and particularly starting to really understand what do they mean by fit for purpose solutions and what trustees can do to improve retirement outcomes for members as soon as possible. Thank you very much.
Sounds good.